right, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Hopefully you guys are having a great rest of your day, start to your day, whatever time it may be. And in this video, we are going to be figuring out how much faster the Shelby GT350 is on the 100mm pulley compared to the 105 as well as the 110. I have data for everything. The car has an ESS G3R supercharger. The difference between this data and the previous data obviously is the pulley size as well as the weather conditions.
Flashback.
Alright guys, so here is the difference. 92 is today, 65 and then versus 56. You guys can see. So it made 907 on the 100. The 65, what was that?
That was when we had your fueling issue.
Oh, the fueling issue?
Last time you came on the 105. And
105.
That's when you decided you were going to go back up to the 110.
Yeah. You guys can see. And then the 56.
Yeah, the 56 degree 953. That was when everything was healthy on the 105 and we had the best weather there.
Yeah.
That's why we got that number. And you also, if you look at the boost, you also made a pound of boost more than as well. And this is a brand new Grip Tech 100 mil, so there is no reason that it would be slipping.
Yep.
That's the weather, the heat that's robbing you of that boost right there.
These past couple of weeks, honestly the past month and a half, have been horrible here in Texas. We have been getting nonstop rain. We have flood watches going on right now, and the temperature and the DA are sky high. It's 100 plus degrees during the day, 80 plus at night, 2000 plus DA at night, 80% humidity. Probably the worst conditions you can draggy a car or honestly do any type of car related activity here in Texas. But you know what? I think it'll be some good comparisons because all the previous data was done in hero DA, 50 degrees, and like negative DA or just above negative DA. If you guys are excited, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn those post notifications, and let's get on the way. All right, let's go ahead, get a cold start. I do need to go ahead and get some E85 as well. Hopefully the station is actually operational. Already at 91 because of how hot it is outside. It's crazy. And then when it warms up, we'll head out.
A few moments later.
All right, we are headed out to a different E85 station because the E85 station that I normally go to, the pumps are actually turned off. Now the reason why the pumps are turned off, at least I think the reason why the pumps are turned off, this past week we've had some really bad weather. Constant rain. We're technically under a flood watch until tomorrow. I think water got like in the underground tank and every single pump is off. Not just the E85 pumps, every single pump is off. So we're gonna go to a different station. Hopefully the pumps are turned on. I don't really know if there's a way to kind of figure out before. We're just gonna have to pull up, and if these pumps are turned off, well, that's gonna be a problem, I'm not gonna lie, because I pulled up and we are now at like 43 to E, which I don't like to run this car low on gas, obviously, because we just replaced the pumps, but I did not know. So hopefully this other station has E85. If not, oh well, gonna have to go ahead and take the 650 and go somewhere else further away with the jug and get some E85. Can I make this light? Am I gonna end up blowing it? No, we good. This Texas weather has been terrible, guys. Absolutely terrible. Just constant rain, random showers. I can stand the heat, but man, rain in the heat, nah. Literally just give me the heat, no rain. If it's gonna rain, do it like on a Monday like night or something like that, or a Tuesday night, where it don't matter because nobody really doing nothing those days anyway. But it's been raining every single day, like literally every single day. I think this is the only day where it technically hasn't rained. It might have rained in the morning, I don't even know, while I was sleeping, but I think this is technically the day that it ain't raining. Not supposed to rain tomorrow, but then it's supposed to pick back up the rest of the weekend. God, it sucks. Absolutely sucks. Everything's getting canceled because of the weather. Man. Hopefully we get a stretch of some dry weather coming up very, very soon. This time last year, I do not remember it being this bad. Like, I think it was legit like dry and we didn't get rain for like 2-3 months, but this is the exact opposite this year. We're getting rain every single day for the past month and a half. Station. This one's a little bit further away, but it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. So hopefully their pumps are turned on. I'm praying their pumps are turned on. Alright, we are pulling up to the E station and it looks like it's packed, which is both a good and a bad thing. Good thing, the pumps are probably working. Bad thing is you're gonna have to wait, but that's kind of what happens when everything is getting shut down. Pumps are occupied. Great. So I'll just wait. I'll just wait here.
One eternity later.
Alright, getting some E. Of course it's more expensive here too. Wonder why. $25 will be good. Woohoo! On the dot. Let's go, baby. Alright, let me get my receipt and we're gonna head out. Back at the casa, we are going to go over the draggy data. Remember, the car is on the 100mm pulley and we are in some very, very hot conditions. Now, the first draggy 60 to 130, I started in third gear. I like to do the draggies in third gear when I do comparisons, just because the car isn't going to spin, and I also like to see exactly what the car is doing once it gets into boost. Third gear in a Shelby GT350, especially with the Century Blower, is pretty lazy, but doesn't actually start to get into boost, and you're not really in power band until like 75 mile an hour because you're actually underneath 5,500 RPM when the run does start, and that does make a big difference. The car went 5.61 60 to 130. Now the temperature, according to the draggy, was 81 degrees. It was 89 feet in the air, and the DA was 1947. Now that actually is In my personal opinion, I thought it was gonna go a little bit quicker than that, but at the same time, compared to the other 60 to 130s, this makes sense considering the air. Now, I also did a 100 to 150 draggy, and that time, 100 to 150, was a 5.02. Now, the temperature was the exact same, which again, I thought it was gonna run a little bit quicker, but it is most likely because of the air. So it went 561, 60 to 130, starting in third, and then it went 502, 100 to 150 as well. Now, I also did another draggy. This one was actually not a proper 60 to 130 because I actually started it past 60 on accident. So that time was like a 5.99, which actually realistically isn't even that bad, just in the fact that there was a flat line on the graph. But I did get a 100 to 150. The 100 to 150 was a 5.16, and the conditions were 81 degrees, 198 feet in the air, and the DA was 2,043. This was about, like, I'd say 15 minutes after I did the first round of 60 to 130 and 100 to 150. So that is what the car is doing right now in this air. Now, the car has gone quite a bit faster in the past. In the past on the 105 millimeter pulley, but the difference is pretty significant when it comes to the air quality. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys right now. On the 105 millimeter pulley, this was a third gear start as well. It's 46 degrees outside, 248 feet in the air. The DA was negative 464. The car went actually a 543. So it really wasn't even that much different time-wise, starting in third. And when you think about it, you have to climb that negative 400 and then go ahead and add that on top of the DA that we have right now. So we have a pretty significant temperature difference as well as a pretty significant DA difference as well. Now, I did a second gear start, and the 60 to 130 was a 5.22. The DA was negative 663. And obviously the temperature was going to be 43 degrees and 84 feet in the air. This was a second gear start. Second gear start is a little bit quicker in this car. It did spin this run, I do remember. So that is going to impact the times as well. But I do plan on doing a second gear 60 to 130 the way the car is right now in these conditions to kind of see exactly where it is. Now, as far as the 100 to 150 times go, this is where things get pretty interesting. The 100 to 150 times on this car are significantly faster than the 60 to 130. The 100 to 150, the best 100 to 150 I did do in this car was a 4.55 100 to 150, and the DA was actually negative 1412, 43 degrees out. So again, 502 to 4.55, you have to go ahead and add that negative 14 on top of the time. The car is picking up some significant speed when we are talking about the 105 versus the 100 millimeter pulley in bad air. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think. Now, I'm gonna go over some data with the 110 millimeter pulley, and this is where things are pretty interesting, and I can kind of make an assumption on what the car would do if we had way better air. Now, this was on the 110 millimeter pulley. This was actually the Grip Tech pulley as well. I did 160 to 130 after going ahead and going from the 105 to the 110. And this was a third gear start. Again, all these are third gear starts when I do test the car, just for spinning reasons. The car went a 5.88, but the temperature was 73 degrees, 135 feet in the air, and the DA was 1497. So better DA than what I had previously, and the car obviously went faster. So if you have a Shelby GT350 and you're trying to estimate where the car is going to be at, or at least the difference the pulley size are going to make, roughly it's cutting down like 0.2 60 to 130 as well as 100 to 150. So theoretically, if we were to do some like ricer math, if I had the conditions last winter time and I was on the 100mm pulley, the car would have probably went like spinning in second. It probably would have went like a 4.9, 60 to 130, and the 100 to 150 would have been roughly like a 4.3, potentially maybe dipped into like a high 4.2. But at the same time, we're gonna have to go ahead and see what the car can do in better air. With this is going to be like the last hurrah I'm gonna be doing with the ESS setup, because unfortunately the 100mm with the Grip Tech pulley is getting some belt slip after I went ahead and raced the car for the first time. Literally after that outing, I did notice that the car was getting some belt slip. I'll go ahead and put it in the video as well. And that's after just one outing. So I think it's safe to say that the Shelby GT350 with an ESS setup, G3R, 6 rib, 8 rib would be different. 8 rib would make a difference as far as, you know, preventing belt slip. I think the most consistent setup, if you don't want to deal with belt slip, is going to be running a Grip Tech 110mm pulley, because I ran that pulley for 3 months, drove it to Texas 2K twice, and ran it however many times I did locally, and I didn't have any belt slip. So the fact that I just drove it to a location in Mexico, I'm not gonna say where I was at, and then did some runs after the first night having belt slip, the 100mm pulley 6 rib obviously is something that, you know, it can't work. And now that I'm used to the car and I know the difference on the 100mm, I'm not going back to the 110 or the 105, because the car did pick up significantly, even though technically the 60 to 130 and the 100 to 150 numbers were not faster. The weather difference, there is a significant difference. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think about the setup. Again, I know a lot of people have went with the ESS G3R setup on their Shelby GT350s. I don't really know that many people who actually put the 100mm pulley in the car, but if you have not gone to the 100mm pulley, beware that you're gonna be running into belt slip, especially if you do race the car a lot. And if you want a consistent setup with no belt slip, because I had no belt slip for 3 months, and I was driving the car all over the place. I mean, verified on the channel, all over the place. That Grip Tech 110 with the green belt is gonna be the way to go. I didn't dyno it, but it 100% was making, you know, mid to upper 800, maybe even, you know, 900 wheel in good air. It should make that. And the car, you know, 100% will be able to run a mid 5 in good air, as well as high 4s, 100 to 150, which in all reality for a stick shift car, I think that's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. And, you know, obviously the races we've had on the channel, the car has proven that, you know, you can go out and have some fun in a stick shift car that weighs, you know, 3,900 pounds with my ass in it. And I'm not a big guy whatsoever. So yeah, there it is. Those are the numbers. If we get a cold front, which I highly doubt, I'll try it again, but that's what the car is going to be doing on the ESS setup as of right now. Even though I think it could go a little bit quicker, I'm just going to enjoy it, and then when I'm ready to sell the ESS kit and go, that is what is going to happen, which is hopefully going to be happening, I'd say within like the next month or so. So yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.